going into this one, obviously McCaskill presents her own problems. She's a bit different than any other fighter you fought before. Are you preparing any differently, or is it just business as usual?
So for me, I've been fighting since I was 10. So I've boxed every style there is. I've had, from the age of 10, sparring men, as a 13-year-old in women's categories. So I've had all the experience: kickboxing, Thai boxing, amateur boxing, pro boxing. So McCaskill definitely has a different style to anything I've boxed before, but I'm very good at adapting, and I've been in there and got a lot of experience with so many different opponents, sizes, male, female, obviously not fighting men but sparring men. So for me, it's just got to do what I do, and McCaskill's good at what she does, but I'm good at what I do, and I just got to make sure that I bring out the best version of me, and there you go.
Do you view her, is this your toughest challenge so far, would you say? Is she the best fighter you've fought to date?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. She's the toughest fighter. I think her credit's alone. She's undisputed at 147. She beat Cecilia Brackhouse, who's a legend of the sport. She had a great fight with Katie Taylor. So yeah, definitely the toughest test of my career. But I've got to get through that if I want to become the best in the sport.
Absolutely, and obviously the big thing with this fight, you touched upon it, she's undisputed at the weight above. This fight is to crown an undisputed champion as well. How much does that mean to you that you could walk out with all the belts?
To be undisputed is a dream come true for me. I think this is what you turn professional boxing for. You want to be a world champion, but you become a world champion, it's kind of like, right, I want all the belts now, I want to be the best in my division. So being a world champion at 140 means I'm sharing that with another 3-4 girls, if they all have world title belts as well. So I want to be #1 in my division, and I want all the belts. I don't want to share it.
And I think it's quite an interesting one that comes up quite a lot in boxing, this talk of like the 4-belt era.
Yeah.
Do you think that's good for the sport, or would you rather it was a case of every division just has one champion?
I think it's very good for UFC, like they have just one world champion in the division, and I think with boxing that's why you want to become undisputed, because you're undisputed, you are the champion of the division, like there's no one else that's got the belts. So I think the sanctioning body is great, yeah, because it gives you them undisputed fights and them like history making fights. So yeah, it's good, but I do like UFC when it's just one world champion in the division.
And another change that has been talked about in women's boxing, and we spoke about it with Jamie before, is the idea of perhaps going up to 3-minute rounds. I just wonder where you stand on that. Is that something you'd be in favour of? Would you prefer to be fighting 12-3s rather than 10-2s at this point?
I'm in favour of doing 3-minute rounds. I think for my style, I think 3-minute rounds would suit me a lot more. I think if we want equal pay and equal rights, then we kind of need to do what the men are doing as well. Like 2s are great, they're entertaining for the fans because it's a high pace, high tempo, but that extra minute can give you more time to get your opponents out there. And boxing, the fans want to see stoppages and want to see a bit more, like it's a hurt game, ain't it? So yeah, I think 3s would be a lot more beneficial for me, and I'd like to do 3-minute rounds.
And obviously we're just coming off Saturday at the O2 Arena, a massive night for women's boxing. I just wondered, what were your thoughts watching Shields Marshall, Michaela Mayer? What was it like watching that card? How did you feel about it all?
What an unbelievable night. The whole show was incredible. The build-up, the hype around it, and then they delivered on the night as well, and all the fighters were incredible. So massive credit to every single one of them. Co-main event and the main event definitely lived up to the hype. Both of them were cracking fights. Obviously gutted for Savannah, was rooting for her, obviously being English and being on Team GB together. I think Clarissa was just a level above. Like I was really impressed with Clarissa. She was doing everything. She literally had everything. She could box, she was slick, she had power. Yeah, it was great, but Savannah's also a great fighter, and it was just on the night as well, so hopefully we'll see a rematch. But yeah, to all the girls, what a credit.
And you talk about Team GB there, and that card also featured 3 of the Tokyo 2020 Olympians, Artinstall, Price and Dubois. I just wondered, how do you rate those 3, and how far do you think they can go in the pro game?
All 3 of them in the pro game, they're going to become world champions. I'd be very shocked if they don't. I think they're all classy, they've all got very different styles, but they're all unbelievable talent again. And yeah, like without a doubt, they'll be world champions, without a doubt.
And a fight that a lot of people have spoke about for you potentially after this one is a fight with Katie Taylor. It sort of would be like a natural fight, I think. Is that something that you'll be looking to target if you win this next one?
Yeah, for me it's focus on what's in front of me for now. Like McCaskill's in front of me, so I'm not going to look beyond that. But I've always wanted the Katie Taylor fight. I think what woman doesn't want to box Katie Taylor if you're round about that division, because she's the pinnacle of women's boxing along with Clarissa. So I want to crack at the best of the best. So yeah, I definitely would be interested, but for me it's get the win on November the 5th.
I think one of the reasons women's boxing has become so popular is the great thing is we get these fights with you guys moving up and down in weight, and obviously the fights seem to cover a lot more weights than they would when it's the men. Is that something you've thought about, sort of going up and down? Is there sort of like a weight range that you think you would fit into perfectly, that you maybe want to go up and down through, like for your career?
Yeah, I think obviously this bout is at 140 for undisputed, but McCaskill holds the belts at 147 undisputed, so I'd like to get a shot at her belts as well. I'll put my belts on the line, and obviously Cali Vita's vacated, and I think the winner of me and McCaskill should give Cali Vita the first shot at them belts, but also McCaskill should put her belts on the line at 147.
I think that's a fight that we'd all absolutely love to see. Thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you.
It's been brilliant stuff, and good luck for the fight.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks a lot.